let's say that you pass away, God forbid, 3 days from now, because, none of us know the exact time or hour, right? And let's say that you passed away. Who would be the one that would have to pay for all the expenses? Like, who would be the one that has to pay for the mortgage, the funeral expenses, has to meet the funeral director to plan out the ceremony, the right coffin? Who's going to be the one that has to pay the car payments, the credit cards, put the kids through school? Like, who would be the one responsible for paying all of that? Now, what does that question do? What goes on in Dan's mind when I ask him that question? What is he visually seeing? He's seen his spouse do what? Go meet the funeral director. She's all emotional. She's overspending. She doesn't have the money to do all this stuff. Do you see how we're getting them in what? Their emotional state. Okay, not their logic state. We know they're not going to make a decision in their logic state. All right. So let's say in this example, he's like, well, I guess Cindy would have to pay for it. So then you're going to lean in with empathy. You're going to lean in with empathy and you're going to say this. So do you want Cindy to have to pay for all those expenses if you didn't have to? No, no, not if I didn't have to. Now, if I said it this way, so do you want Cindy to have to pay for all those expenses if you didn't have to? Completely different reaction I'm going to get. So do you want Cindy to have to pay for all those expenses if you didn't have to? No, I wouldn't. Well, okay, so how many months would she be able to pay the house payment and all the other expenses without your income? Well, I'm not really sure. Well, if you really thought about it, how many months? Oh, man, I don't know, maybe 4? Okay, so after the 4 months, though, like what happens to her and the kids at that point, though? The gap in their mind from where they are compared to where they're now seeing they really need to be. Without me building a gap, if there's no gap, there's no what? There's no sale. There's no pain. There's no urgency for them to change. There's that word change, that magical word change. All right, help the prospect see what their future is going to look like once all these newfound problems that you're questioning has allowed them to see they have that they didn't even know they had 20 minutes before they got on that call with you, all right? Now, let's say, okay, so I'll give you an example here.